I'm like excited that you're all here. I'm like really happy that you're all here. It really means a lot to me. Once upon a time. Is it the time?
It's 1:37, so you need to wait.
You need to wait. You weren't born yet.
Yay!
Now you're out of the vagina.
Happy birthday!
No, I didn't go through the vagina.
You were C-section too.
I was an
You've been
emergency.
C-section!
High fives all around. When I was born, I met my hero and my biggest fan, who was my mom. And then I met my dog named Buff, and so then we met a cat, and my first word as a kid was meow.
Oh, of course it was.
When I was 2, my sister was born, and I drew a perfect circle. I didn't scribble ever as a kid, and as you know in our group, that's weird. I never scribbled. It's weird. Nobody should do that. So I drew literally a perfect circle. As a 2-year-old, my mom has the date on it. And then when I was 4, we got my cat Peridot, who became my best friend. This guy's cool too. In 5, I started school. I was gifted and talented, and then I was separated from the rest of the kids to research, and my mom was there, and we all found pictures of animals having sex, and she was really uncomfortable, and it was great. In 6th grade, it was the first time a boy kissed me without permission. When I was when I was 7, I first noticed the word Xmas instead of Christmas, which was my first time really noticing culture. At age 8, an adult male teacher apologized to me for something that he said inappropriately in class, and it was the first time I felt really respected by a man. At 9, I first saw a girl in the bathroom take her hands like this and fit them around her waist fully and touch finger to finger, and that's when thinness felt attuned to being part of the female experience for me. At age 10, I met my friend Amanda Hubbard, and she just had a baby this past year. When I also that year went to a personal enrichment program where I feel like they really, for mostly good reasons, encourage our creativity, but in a lot of other reasons. Now as an adult, I realized that I'm way too free for a lot of rigid structure. In 11, I had my first puppy love with Eric, and then I had my first heartbreak actually it was a while later. And then sometime around 12 and 11, I met my best friend from high school, Megan, and she was awesome. I drank the Kool-Aid about Jesus that year, and then on 14, I didn't make my first musical, and I did cheerleading instead, and it was really rough. I wasn't very flexible. And at 15, I got my first emotionally abusive boyfriend, and then I started therapy. And then at 16, I started dating my high school sweetheart named Ben, which led to another rough couple of things. I got kicked out of a multiple, which was the one thing that I really loved about that year. And I did get a lead role in my first play at school. And I played Amy, the sassy younger sister, in Little Women. When I was 18, an art teacher stopped me and basically told me, you need to do art for your job, and then she helped me discover art therapy. I graduated high school with my IB diploma, and my best friend Megan and I walked together into the ceremony, which is amazing. Also at 18, I was in a near-death car accident, and it was one of the hardest things that I went through. I went to the hospital when I was 19, and I was hit in the head by somebody who was schizophrenic, and she hit me with a stuffed toy dog, and I'll never forget that. 20 was all about psychiatry. 21, I celebrated my 21st birthday with my mom. We played on the playground and she took pictures of me. After that, my grandfather died, and that's when I did my first big balloon release for his death. At 22, I was in a relationship, and I finished school at Michigan State. And at 23, I moved to Colorado, started graduate school. I met Allison and Jess. I went horseback riding with my friend Lauren, who is also about to have a baby. We're hoping for today or tomorrow, but we're really hoping for today! Yeah! Come on, Poppy! You can do it, baby! Oh, we just call him that. I don't know. He has a real name. I don't remember what it is.
He has a real name.
I was fired for the first time when I was 23, and then I started to own my LGBT identity that year too. 24, I didn't have anything listed, but I know I was at Naropa, that was it. When I was 26, I graduated from art therapy. I went to Cambodia for the first time in my whole life, and I met somebody, and then I fell completely in love with him. 27 was all about music, listening to lots of music. Started my art therapy business. I showed art in an art show for the first time in like 100 years, and I even sold all the pieces, which was really surprising. When I was 28, he left me, and I had to choose to live every day. Oliver was absolutely my lifesaver. And then I turned 29, and I got my own place. And wherever she just went, Pearl joined my family. I have an excellent primary care doctor, which I felt like I needed to list.
That is huge.
And then yesterday, all I wrote was, on my last day of being 29, I'm so grateful to everyone who I love near and far, and really especially to you folks here, because you are absolutely the biggest gift about my birthday, because otherwise I would just be here with Oliver and Pearl, and that'd be great, but you being here was the best.